Hey guys, how's it going? Ms. Frosco here. I am just here at school and I was thinking there are some things that I didn't get to in math class, and so I wanted to just teach you a quick lesson. You have some papers in your packet that you can practice on with me, and then keep practicing on your own, and then there are some other practice pages in your packet that you can continue practicing this. So today we're going to talk about finding the perimeter of shapes, okay? And there are a couple of different ways that you can find the perimeter. So basically the perimeter of an object is the distance around the entire outside. So I'm going to switch you around and show you my paper. So you have a paper that looks like this with the big squares in your packet. Okay, so I've drawn a couple of different shapes and we're going to find the perimeter of these shapes. So we are going to look at the distance around the outside, and we are going to count how many units are around the entire outside of the shape. And it can be a regular rectangle or it can be an irregular shape. And the process and the way that you can find the perimeter of these is similar. So let's go ahead and start with this rectangle, okay? So if we look on this side of the rectangle, we can see that there are 2 units, and these are actually inches. This square is, so 1, 2 inches, okay? And we're gonna look at the length of this side, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 inches. And since it's a rectangle, we know that this side is the same as the opposite side, and we can look at that and see 1, 2 inches. And then we also know that this side is the same as the opposite side because it is a rectangle. So that is 4 inches. Now, in order to find the perimeter, we have to add up all the sides. So we have 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2. You need to make sure that you get all the sides, because we want to know the distance around the entire shape. So 4 plus 2 is 6, 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 6 is 12, and don't forget your label. So 12 inches is our perimeter around this shape, okay? Are you ready to try this one? So this one, since it's irregular and it's on a grid paper, we can do something a little bit different. So I'm going to come in a little bit closer. So I'm going to pick a starting point. I'm going to start right here. And I'm just going to start counting the units around the outside. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, there are 10 inches to go from one part all the way around. We don't count the squares, we count the distance around the outside. So we have to count every unit around the outside in order to find our perimeter for that one. Okay, if you have your paper and you didn't do these, or you've got room on your paper, go ahead and try one. Draw yourself a shape, a rectangle, or you can try and get creative if you would like to, and practice some of those finding the perimeter. Only use one side of the paper because we're going to use the other side for a different lesson. Okay, so you can go ahead and practice that. If you want to pause the video, that's totally fine and practice, or you can keep it playing, and we are going to move on to our smaller grid paper, and we're going to keep practicing perimeter. So remember, we have our regular rectangle shapes and we have our irregular shapes. So this time I'm going to start with the irregular shape. And what we did, remember, we picked a starting point, okay? And if you put a dot there, then you know where you started and you know where you have to finish, okay? And we're going to count our units. These are centimeters, so our label is going to be centimeters for our perimeter. And let's go ahead and start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 centimeters for our perimeter around that one. Did you notice that we just counted each individual unit from line to line? That's 1 unit. 2, 3, okay? Or going back to our rectangle, we can see that there are 2 units on this side, so 2 centimeters. If we count down these sides, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 centimeters. And then since it's a rectangle, we know if this is 2 centimeters, this is also 2 centimeters. And since this is 8 centimeters, we also know that this is 8 centimeters. For perimeter, we have to label all of the sides because we need to count all of the sides in order to find the perimeter. Okay, so we're going to add up our numbers. So we have 2 plus 8 plus 2 plus 8. And we know 2 plus 8 is 10. 2 plus 8 is 10. So our perimeter is 20 centimeters. Hey, look at that. They both had the same perimeters, but they look completely different. That's so crazy. All right, if you have room on your grid paper, you can go ahead and do a couple of examples of your own. You just practice drawing a shape and then find the perimeter of it. If you want to pause the video, that's totally fine. I'm going to do one more example. And then you have that other practice page where you can practice the perimeter of finding shapes. So here we have just rectangles. It's not on grid paper, but the sides are labeled. So we're going to start with this shape. Okay, and we know that finding the perimeter, we have to add all the sides all the way around. These two are labeled, but these two are not. So in order to find the perimeter, we have to label our sides. Since they are rectangles, what do we know about this side and this side? Hopefully you said that they are the same length. Okay, and since it's a rectangle, we know that this side is the same length as this side, so we go ahead and label that. Now to find the perimeter, we add all the sides. So we have our 6 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4. 6 and 4 is 10. 6 and 4 is 10. 10 plus 10, 20. Look, another one that is 20 centimeters for the perimeter. All right, go ahead and do this one. I'm just going to give you a second to think about it. How would you find the perimeter of this shape? Think about what you know about a rectangle. About this side, and this side, and this side, and this side. Okay, hopefully you knew that this side is also 3 centimeters and this side is also 10 centimeters. And then to find the perimeter, we add all the sides up. So 10 plus 10 is 20. 3 plus 3 is 6. So our perimeter of this one is 26 centimeters. Okay, now we've been using inches and centimeters. Make sure that whatever label is labeled for the sides is the label that you have for your answer in finding the perimeter. Okay, that is just a short lesson on finding the perimeter of a shape. We want to add all the sides, all the units around the outside. Go ahead and practice some and then do your practice page. And let me know if you have any questions. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.